Hey there, boys and girls. It's Ralph Garman, and you're listening to Talking Codswallop. Good choice.
Hello, everybody. This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Man. You might know me from the Tell 'em Steve Dave podcast and the I Sell Comics podcast. Listen, I love podcasting. I love talking, but what I really love doing is talking Codswallop.
Hey, I'm Alicia Witt.
I'm Daniel Portman from Game of Thrones. I play Podrick Payne.
I'm Ellipses, and you're listening to the Talking... Okay, I'm Mark Bernard, and you're listening to the Talking Codswallop podcast.
Hey man, it's Kevin Smith, Silent Bob, whose voice you were never used to hearing in the 90s until I started opening it up, man. And that's because I'm a podcaster and you're listening to a podcast, Talking Codswallop, right here, man.
Welcome to this week's special edition best of episode of Talking Codswallop. I am Gemma as always, and this is an intro to the show, so the other guys aren't with me at the moment, but either way, you're going to hear a lot of them, so don't you worry. This episode is comprised of some never before heard audio, which a couple of episodes I recorded with James, and James also then recorded with Andy in a separate episode as well. So I've taken the best bits out of those episodes and put them all together, basically. Also, we've got, not necessarily in this order, but you'll know by the sound effects which order it's going to be. It's going to be Comic-Con specials and interviews from there. We have got celebrity interviews who have been on the show. And we've also got stories of the week, which some of them have absolutely made me roar with laughter. So I had to put some of those in as well. And there's probably much, much more as well. So you're probably looking at the time and thinking, gee whiz. Yeah, gee whiz. This is a long episode, but it's totally worth it. Because we turned to a couple of weeks ago, and unfortunately due to having a few illnesses and people's schedules and whatnot, we weren't able to record a special episode for that. So I'm considering this our second year birthday episode, and it is impressive to see how much we've actually uncovered in the last 2 years. Was impressive to me, so I hope you have that mutual feeling, but if you don't, then well, sorry, but yeah, I really do feel like we have covered an awful lot of things in the last 2 years. So, I mean, Christ, I even gained 4 lots of testicles. So, you know, after a year. So, anyway, on with the show. And I really hope you enjoy this episode. In the description of the episode, there are going to be lists of which audio is from where. So if you want to go back and listen to them either via iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, God, we're on so many. The only one we're not on is SoundCloud. So go back and listen to them and listen to them in full and just enjoy the episodes because, wow, they're all good. So, well, yeah. So self-absorbed Gemma is answering that question, but you know, you've got to be proud of what you do. Also, if you're an iTunes listener, and it's going to be a little bit cheeky now, but we've got, I think it's something like 68 reviews on iTunes, which is really awesome. But if you haven't left us an iTunes review and you really fancy doing so, please pop over to, well, obviously iTunes, leave us a 5-star review. Well, I shouldn't dictate to you to leave us a 5-star review, but if you could leave a 5-star review, that would be awesome because it then helps us grow up in the charts and it just helps us to sort of build a bit more of an audience and whatnot. So, not that we don't love you guys. Of course we do. And, yeah, usual Twitter, Facebook and Instagram is at Codswallop Pod. And yeah, just, I guess follow us. Follow us like you're stalking us. That would be amazing. Okay, now we're really going on to the show. I hope you enjoy. Talking about polls. As you know, a couple of weeks ago, we spoke about whether people say Swedish massage or massage. Drum roll, please. I have the result. Okay, so 33 people voted on this.
Yep.
And the post says, listen to this week's episode and find out why we are asking and answer honestly. When telling your friends, / family, you're going for a massage, do you say, I'm going for a... and ... What I say is a massage, and what you say is a Swedish massage, isn't it?
That is correct, yes.
Out of the 33 votes, I am proud to say that 73% of people voted a massage, and 27% of people voted a Swedish massage.
As I'm one of the 27% who voted Swedish massage.
So I'm not telling you, James, that you have to change what you're saying. You can carry on saying it however you want to say it, but just know when you're saying it that you're wrong. Because Twitter has told you.
Last week I went for Swedish massage, so screw you all.
Do you know what? Swedish massage is really hard to say as well, isn't it? It's like Swedish massage.
Yeah, Swedish massage.
Yeah.
There's some part I'll be going for a sports massage as well, so.
Oh, you need to report back on how that is, please.
Painful, I think.
Yeah.
It's going to be the answer. Extremely painful.
Yeah, definitely. Before we move on to anything else, would it be possible for me to give a little shout out to one of our listeners?
But of course.
Thank you. The shout out is to one of our listeners, Carl Foley, and his wife as well. I'm not going to go into detail as to the reason why we're giving a shout out, because it is for personal reasons, but they have had really, really hard time at the moment. So if everybody can just have a little second to think about them and send them a little bit of love and support, that would be awesome. So not thoughts and prayers, but love and support, because they really could do with it at the moment. So a little while ago, Carl sent me a message saying he wanted to shout out for his wife. And basically he wrote, my missus is Teresa Rubens. Mother is 6 and a fantastic life partner. Okay, so she might not be his wife, sorry. Been through so much and still stands so tall with a smile on her face. She means the world to me and my family. She is a keeper. Thank you. And I just thought it was really touching, the fact that, you know, he wanted to have that little moment for his partner, you know, but I also, after following up, I also found out that, you know, like I said, that there are a few other things that are going on as well, and they're just having an absolute nightmare. So, yeah, all send them love and support, please.
Some positive thoughts.
And then hopefully that will, you know, it's the power of love. I don't know where I was going with the do. But, yeah, so let's just do that for them. So, but thank you also, Carl, for reaching out as well. And thank you for lending us your earlobes every week.
So, childbirth, having a baby, painful and difficult as it is going to be probably one of the highlights of your life if you're a woman. And if you're a father, you're going to be there for the whole lovely process. You're obviously medicated when you are having a baby.
Yeah.
A woman will have an epidural to deal with the pain. And things get a bit more interesting on this story, though. So you can imagine maybe being tested for certain drugs and things. But a lady called Elizabeth Dominguez was giving birth in America. And she had to undertake, she's from a place called Tonawanda in America, and she had to undertake a drugs test. Now, I'm not quite sure it's a routine drugs test, but there was a urine sample provided, and it came back as being positive for opiates.
She'd had a poppy seed bagel.
Correct.
Yeah. And social services have taken the baby off of her, haven't they?
Yeah. Out of all the strangest things you can imagine, how many poppy seeds? I mean, what the hell must... Firstly, it makes me wonder, what must the opium levels in the poppy seeds be like in these items from, I'm assuming, I could be wrong, but Subway maybe?
Well, it's a fresh bagel bakery.
Is that what it was, a fresh bagel bakery? So
didn't say this the place, but it was like a poppy seed bagel she treated herself to.
So, but they're saying that you'd have to eat an obscenely high amount of these things to have them in your bloodstream. So,
or they've got a really hypersensitive test going on.
Yeah, I was going to say it's either really hypersensitive or it's one of the most loaded poppy seed bagels known to man. I mean, the fact that something that goes this far, there was sort of mentioned once in an episode of Seinfeld where one of their characters tested for drugs because it was the character of Elaine had a poppy seed muffin. I mean, I find it almost. I mean, it's funny, but can you imagine the nightmare situation you're in where you've tested positive for opiates?
Yeah, and your newborn has just been taken away from you. It's crazy.
And your defence is what? All right, what drug have you been taking? I haven't had any. Liar. What have you had? A bagel.
It happened to a BBC broadcaster as well.
Oh, go on.
Didn't get their baby taken away. I've forgotten who it was. But they came out and said that they'd done a routine drugs test after having a poppy-seeded bread product, and she came back positive. But these stories do crop up every couple of years. You know, it's crazy that it's still being tested. But I guess, you know, because it is of the opioid family. Is it heroin? It tests positive.
It does. It's heroin, isn't it? So the way I'm looking at it is that if I ever decide I want to become a heroin abuser, I will simply just say that I've been eating shitloads of bagels, basically.
Just hang around the bakeries, steal their receipts for poppy seed bagels, and just always have them in your wallet.
Or alternatively, we could actually totally branch out, and I'm sure there's some way we could start selling poppy seed items to people, drug style. Can you imagine it? The days will go, it'll stop when people are going, like wearing a long trench coat and opening up and showing drugs. You'd be like, okay, what do you want? A bagel?
That's it. Do you want a poppy seed and lemon drizzle cake?
Yeah. How hard do you want to go? Do you want something with carrots in it?
Well, one of the last birthday cakes I made in Germany to take into the office was a double-decker poppy seed and lemon drizzle cake.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's because my baking skills are that crap that I beat all the air out of the batter. So I ended up making, basically, it was like, the Victoria sponge, where, it was basically 2 sponge cakes made into a Victoria lemon drizzle cake sponge. So, but that was loaded with poppy seeds.
Well, the scary thing that I found when we were discussing like that, we're trying to work out how they get to the level. They were saying that basically if the seeds have not been sort of washed in a certain manner, it will give this example of the drug, and it can be simple as having 1 to 3 bagels could produce with the poppy seeds, could produce a positive result in a urine test.
So yeah, warning children, if you know you're in a drugs testing environment, check your bagel.
Or alternative, you want to create absolute unrelenting chaos, just eat loads of them. Yeah. See how you test. But the big reality is, I mean, like they say to people who are pregnant, don't eat, say, beef products because you could end up passing on like mad cow disease, and don't eat, but you got to be very careful on certain, like, I think only like caffeine a pregnant woman has, and say shellfish and seafoods, and now they're adding to it poppy seed products.
Yeah, it's just a minefield. It really is,
So no,
we can't even go vegan.
Yeah, so the poor woman's going to have to go through the pain of childbirth and cut out all these things that potentially she could eat and enjoy.
I know.
Because she could test. She could fail a random drugs test.
It's the world gone mad, mate. It's the world gone mad.
I mean, obviously we're lucky that we will just fail the random drug test by eating poppy seeds, and we couldn't have our children taken away from us because we can't have kids.
Yeah, but you walk down some streets and you could get done for marijuana for the amount you inhale.
God, yeah. Well, I had that outside the HBO event. The amount of weed that people were smoking, Jesus.
And no one batted an eyelid.
Nothing. Although interesting, somebody did try and give Kev weed.
Yeah.
And I just loved,
what did he do?
I loved his response. He went, look, I'm going to be honest with you, this is just going to get thrown away.
Wow.
You might as well keep it yourself.
I guess he's well stocked.
Yeah, well, yes, then, let's be honest, as nice as the people are to him, you have no idea what's in it.
Yeah, true. True. And that's why that's a good point. It's why I've never tried hard drugs. Because someone said to me once, that needs to be made by a chemist.
Yeah.
Do you know the chemist? I was like, no, that's a very good point.
Well, you don't know what's cutting it, do you? I mean, they were saying in some circumstances, I think it's like rat poison and stuff going to drugs. It's,
cement mix and...
Oh, God, yeah.
Is it barbiturates?
Yeah, it's a bit like when you get these people, speaking of cement stuff, where people who do like, they end up going for like cheap operations with fillers, and they're getting injected with, like cement and...
Yeah, I mean, they're crazy, you know, people just dying, you know, injected with fats. And there was that woman in somewhere in Asia who injected herself with orange juice.
Was this like for a face fillers?
It was supposed to be for some like vitamin replenishment, makes your skin more youthful. So she basically injected orange juice into her bloodstream.
God. And what happened? What was the outcome?
She died of basically it was I don't think it was sepsis, but that's basically an infection. The body's going to attack that, and so the body just shut down. And you had all that going into a system that's not designed for anything other than blood.
God. I mean, the worst example I saw where someone had done it themselves is they'd been a model, and I could be wrong, but I want to say they're Taiwanese or something, and she was a very attractive lady, and I find it very sad that she did this, but she ended up injecting her face with like silicone because she couldn't get people to keep doing the operations, and we're talking like industrial silicone, and her face just became this giant deformed swollen mass. And they've done surgery to alleviate some of it, but I mean, she will never ever go back to looking normal, or certainly looking as she once did. And it's kind of horrifying, because you sort of think to yourself, why did this person, or when did this person start to think that things were looking all right, / become so desperate that they'd shoot themselves up with like stuff you use for patching up parts of your house?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's mental health issues, isn't it?
Oh, totally.
Some people get surgery done for self-worth for themselves, and that's cool, but it's the obsessives. It's the ones where they can't accept what they're seeing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, I can't even empathise with it, because I can't even imagine being in that situation, unfortunately.
I mean, I think the problem is the risk of things that can go wrong. Somebody once said to me about plastic surgery, they only ever have plastic surgery done where it was sort of like below the neckline, where it wasn't such an obvious thing that you could see, so it went wrong. Yeah.
Well, I won't even get laser or eye surgery done.
No, I wouldn't do it, because you do hear examples of it going wrong.
I've never heard nothing but positive news about it, but it is the fact that there is a laser burning off parts of your eye.
Yeah. And you can smell it when it's happening.
Yeah, you know, so no, you know, to let alone to then have like fillers and implants, and because you hear men who get the muscle implants.
Like pec stuff done, yeah.
Pec stuff in their shoulders and stuff like that, or they get bones chiseled away in their face, you know, because they want that more model-esque
defined look.
Yeah, and it's like, oh no, I am far from perfect, but I am very happy.
Well, you see
in myself.
You see bodybuilders, don't you, put like synthahol into the muscles, and it doesn't even look nice. You know, just these weird blocky arms.
Yeah. I mean, there's one bit of vanity that I do wonder about. It's because I fluctuate with the running.
Yes.
My body weight fluctuates. So sometimes I can get the bit of the old granddad skin around the belly.
Mm-hmm.
And I do sometimes wonder whether I should get, you know, a bit of a tummy tuck.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's only for me, and I'm not that vain.
Mm.
And I can't imagine me maintaining a taut skin worth the investment to get skin taken away only for it to stretch when I let myself go again.
You know? Well, I think part of the problem is it's like when you hear about getting lipos. I tell you, I'm loving when people hear this, because there's no way they're going to expect two men to be discussing this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like when they talk about people having liposuction, or liposuction, however you want to pronounce it. you kind of have this view that it'll be this like really quick fix. They'll suck the fat out of you and you can bounce back really quickly. It sure as hell does not actually entail that, because I read something on it. You've got weeks where your body's having to readjust to it, and you've got to then, as with any surgery, be sort of really careful on what you do afterwards. And again, with everything, you run the risk of things like infection if it goes wrong. I mean, I think the only thing I'd say to anybody is always think twice, and really probably only have the surgery if you really need it. It's like there's a real medical reason to have it done.
And I don't wish to sound harsh, but you only need to look at a certain generation to see what the long-term visual impact is of people who have had lots of plastic surgery.
Yes.
And just how out of place they look for their age.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, to me, Zsa Gabor should be the poster child for, why plastic surgery to that extreme is wrong.
Yeah.
Or is it Catwoman? That woman
the Bride of Wildenstein lady. Well,
yeah.
Who went to above and beyond.
Yeah.
Or look at somebody like Michael Jackson, who... What?
But that was more medical, though, wasn't it? That was because, for him, that impetigo... Is it impetigo he suffered from?
Is it... Was it called vitiligo or something?
Yeah, it's the skin pigmentation degradation. It's barely accepted now.
Vitiligo, I think it's called. I mean, the thing was that with Michael Jackson,
that's it. Yeah,
with his skin, I get it to a degree, and they did say they ended up bleaching his skin to try to even it out and wear makeup and things. But it was the thing where he did his nose and he did his jawline and. It ties into what you said about, I guess, a mental health thing, because what was going on with the poor guy, where he thought, people will like me more if I look like this, if I do this to myself. It's a very sad situation.
It's a different world, and it kind of sort of feeds into why I despise reality TV that seems to glorify and perpetuate that need to be liked for who, that materialistic, shallow it's that vapidness that only the beautiful and in shape are worthy of that kind of admiration. In fact, anyone is worthy of admiration if you've got the qualities that deserve that.
Yes, correct. And it's the fact that the people who are looking at this, who do these things themselves, their quest is for a level of perfection. So, unfortunately, the big example at the moment is the Kardashians. People wanting to look like them, and some of them look great, there's no issues, but they sort of think, we'll have surgery, we'll have bum work done or whatever it is, and we'll have everything it'll be like them and it'll be great. But what they don't get is that there's so much more than just surgery. The Kardashians have a team of people who are doing all this stuff to make them look good and do the makeup, and of course they've got all the money to back it up. And it's it's a shame, like you said, it's this quest, this thought that there has to be this level of perfection, and that's what matters, and that's not the be all and end all, is it?
Yeah. And sex sells. You've got to be sexy to be successful. I'm getting a bit wound up with the DC TV shows because the majority of the female characters are all wearing the low V-necks or the sexy dresses, the sexy outfits. It's like, do I really need to be seeing cleavage? Does the cleavage add to anything?
Yeah.
Do we,
is it integral to the story? And generally 99.9% of the time, no, it's not.
Yeah, whereas the male lead is all nicely wrapped up in his male onesie. Yeah. It shows his well-defined, chiseled muscles for the ladies. But it's just the way the male characters and the female characters are dressed and treated and forced to act. The personality traits. It's very disturbing.
It is, and it's the message it gives out. And you need more equality. And you're right. Look at the costumes as an example. You've got Superman, you've got Wonder Woman.
Yeah, and Supergirl. Yeah, Supergirl's got a nice little mini skirt on and thigh boots.
Yeah,
whereas Superman's in his onesie with his knickers on the front.
Yeah.
So I find it very frustrating. you know, and yeah, I think that's why I'm not really into films and things like that, is because it's not supposed to be reality, but especially like the rom-coms and the any sort of romance one, or anywhere there's a male character and a female character, there are certain stereotypes. The mums are generally blonde, fit 40-somethings that don't even look like they've given birth to 3 children. You know, unless they've got a very good metabolism. There's no real...
They seem to have improbably young kids as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I just find it very frustrating, but I'm Eeyore in the corner being grumpy.
Well, never did I ever think we'd end up discussing this as a subject.
Who knows if it'll even pass the final editing.
That's true. Until next week.
When normal order will be restored.
Oh, yes.
And the captain will be back at the helm.
Yep.
Or maybe you've never heard this and we are just talking into the ether for our own listening pleasure.
Yeah, this could be one of our dark ones that never ever gets broadcast. Or alternatively, it could be one of the special ones you have to pay for.
Yeah, or it's that dull or dark that doesn't even make the cut for that.
So, as you know from, I think it was last week's episode. No, it wouldn't have been last week's episode. It would have been the episode before. We asked our listeners if they wanted to start participating in sending in Codswallop of the Week. Because obviously we like to have our little moans and things as well. But we seem to just focus on cars and petrol at the moment.
And without Andy, really, there is no real Codswallop.
Exactly. We love you, Andy.
We do love you, Andy.
Yeah, he'll probably be listening to this in about 4 years' time when he's actually watched the episode.
Those bastards.
I can't even remember what I did or what I said. So, James, I'm excited to tell you, we have got our first load of What a Load of Codswallop from a listener. Woohoo!
Oh, yes.
Yes.
We found somebody else who's miserable and fed up. Fire away.
Yes, so this is from Tim Dawson, who is at TimDawson87 on Twitter. And he is officially popping our cherry, so you can, change your Twitter handle to Pop the Codswallop Cherry if you wish.
Yes, Tim, I'm lying back and thinking of England.
Okay, that's inappropriate, James. Totally staying in, but it's inappropriate. So sort of to give a bit of a backstory of what Tim is codswalloping about this week is people may or may not know that there has been a bit of a kerfuffle, let's say. I like that word. Kerfuffle with Babel Vision this week.
I'm one of the people who didn't know. I am so lost on this entire thing, so I'm intrigued to know what's happened.
Yeah, exactly. So basically what happened is that the people who'd actually paid for Babel Vision got a refund. So, of course, it caused a bit of concern and panic as to what was going on. I fully understand that. And, it's kind of, well, especially me and you, it's one of our favourite podcasts. So you kind of automatically think, oh my God, it's going to be ending, Ralph and I believe Kevin, but I'm not 100% sure on Kevin, but I know for a fact that Ralph sent out a tweet basically saying, I'm not going to say it word for word, but basically saying that it was a human error, that they meant to send out a post beforehand to say to people that it's not cancelled, but it's actually going into a different medium now. So it's going over to YouTube where it's free for everybody to watch, and that they're refunding the remaining of the money. So I think it was like $10, because obviously people pay for like a year's worth. And even though he sent that message, people still were overreacting about it. And they were sending it directly to him, to Ralph, I mean, who's a lovable firecracker,
Yes, he is.
Yeah. You can see by his posts he was getting more and more annoyed.
Yeah.
By the fact that people were still jumping on the bandwagon of, slating things.
Well, as I understand it, there'd been like a huge response, like an emotional response from loads and loads of people on this. So I wonder if there'd just been a bit of confusion.
Yeah, I think initially there was confusion.
Yeah.
Because obviously when you get a refund, you think, well, hold on, why am I having this?
Yeah, something's been cancelled or something's completely gone wrong, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But with this situation, like I said at the beginning, it was a human error. I think even Jordan, I can't say her last name, but Jordan, Kevin's assistant, I think she even put out a post saying sort of what was happening and things like that as well. So, you know, they covered all bases, but it was kind of after the effect. So Tim's Codswallop this week, I'll read it to you. So I'm sorry, listeners. Hopefully I'll be reading this as good as possible for you. He's put, from what I can tell, an announcement may have come a little time after refunds were issued for the Babel Vision service, which I thought, fair enough, you're only human. So he's making, obviously, the point that I made at this point. Instead of asking what happened, hearing an answer apology, and moving on, some of these people started bitching and moaning about the fact that they had been loyal customers and shit. Or we should have written, and Codswallop at that point. Come on, Tim. You know better. They are now getting the same thing they were paying for free, and for some reason, it's an issue. Sometimes I think that people need something to rage against, but I was so close to getting that perfect. It was so close. But this is such a non-issue. It fucked me off, basically, is what he said. I think he's got a valid point there, you know, because it literally was just plastered all over the internet. And I just don't, I get it initially. Like I said, I get it initially. People reacted as they should have reacted initially.
Right.
But then when you've got those posts out there, which are so easy to read because, you know, you've got access to everything, it just makes no sense to me.
I'm going to be honest, Gemma, just confused. Because for me, I'm just totally lost on the whole thing. So,
okay, well, I think I've made my point anyway. You know that, you know.
Well, it's Tim's point.
It's Tim's point, but I think because I shared that viewpoint as well with him, that, you know, that is kind of, you know, it's obviously good that, you know, he has come across with it as well. So
no offense, Tim, but I'm still confused. So
yeah,
sorry, I can't chip in because I don't understand any of this.
No,
I feel like an old person. Oh, what's the internet?
Do I feed my mouse some cheese? Yeah. Want some cheese, Gromit? A message from Jamie Westwood.
Hi, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie. If you were to clone yourself and have sex with yourself, would it be incest or masturbation?
It'd be science.
It would be science.
So if you're caught in this situation, that could be your response. It's science. It's science. Nothing to see here. Stop judging me. It's science.
So that's your response.
Yeah.
You would do it, but it's science. I'm going to say the band's name. I'm going to muff it up because I always get it wrong. So he's from the Progidy.
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 The Prodigy. Break it up.
Yeah.
Prodigy.
Yeah.
Prodigy.
Yeah. Prodigy. The bell.
Oh.
Sorry. It really made me laugh and then I had to cough. Prodigy.
She was kind to me. She brought me water.
What
is that thing? Music. It's a prodigy.
The Progidy. But on the Sunday, I did manage to be. I've been telling everybody at work this. I literally was about a hair on my arm away from Jason Momoa at one point. And Lucy was only probably about 2 feet away from me, and I'm going, Lucy, Lucy! Really shouting.
I was filming stuff, and I'm stood there filming, thinking, Gemma, can you just shut up, because you're gonna I'm gonna get all this audio on my filming. Therefore, I didn't turn around. I should have done in hindsight.
Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, this is actually something that you wouldn't mind filming. This is pretty cool.
Rather than like nice scenic panoramas of like the show floor. Yeah. Oh wow.
So then I come up and stand next to you and I'm like, so you just missed Jason Momoa. Oh, but that was the highlight of the day. And when we actually found out where his little cubicle was, that was quite fun.
I had actually heard about all this from Jason Momoa, something about a restraining order, which ties in perfectly to you following the poor man to his little cubicle. So these two English women kept following me around and wouldn't leave me alone.
Well, I think it was me actually, but well, no,
it was now banned from all future Showmasters events.
Showmasters, if you're listening, please don't ban me. I really like representing your show. We've got many more booked. That was kind of like the highlight, pretty much the highlight of my weekend, really, being that close to him.
And restraining yourself by not touching him.
Yeah, I thought I was very good, actually. I did say hello to him and he then said hello back. So
nice.
I was like, that's amazing. And that was enough.
Did he have
You
a lot of
need to
mind?
spend 85 quid to meet him when you can have that for free.
Exactly. And I know that I'm tall, but he was shorter than I thought he was going to be.
I thought you were going to say he was shorter than you.
No, he wasn't. No, he was a little bit taller than me, but then I've looked it up since and he's 6'2", so he would only be like a little bit taller than me.
Short ass.
And James, he would have been shorter than you.
Yeah. Short ass.
That was nice when me and you were walking around. Well, when I found you.
Yeah, I hear there was a bit of a location incident on Saturday where you couldn't find each other or something.
Yeah, basically, we need to put a tracker chip in me somewhere. So I can just be hunted, so I can be found.
It was funny though, because when we were on the first floor and when we were walking around, well, not when we were walking around, but I was sort of walking around kind of like keeping an eye out for you, but also looking at what I was looking at. And I'd see you, but from the opposite side, you know, where you had to walk around, and by the time that I got through the crowd, you'd then like disappear again, and I was like, for God's sake, he's like the Scarlet Pimpernel.
Imagine it's like a giant version of Pac-Man or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said to Lucy as well, I said, in all the time that I've known James, I've never called him so much in all my life. I called you that day 11 times.
And I only picked the phone up for about 3. Well, I think I picked up about twice. The thing is that I put it in my bag and was just walking round. So.
And he didn't have mobile reception at one point either.
Oh, no,
but anyway, that's
one small criticism of Olympia. There's never any decent reception, either phone or data. It's always a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi was incredibly weak, wasn't it? So, although it's not as bad as, because I'm with O2, I'm not sure which network you're with, but the worst reception that I've ever had was actually at the O2 in London. And I was like, really?
Ironically.
Yeah. You'd think that would be kind of the strongest, wouldn't you? But...
Oh, well, hello there. My name's Anna, and this is my husband, Andy.
Hello.
And this is my friend.
Hi, I'm Yasmin.
And
you've come as the Addams family.
We have indeed, yes.
We have, yeah. And Thing. We have Thing here, which you might be able to hear him. Just about.
Thing is very unnerving when you actually see him.
Yes, he scurries along the floor and scares small children. It's great.
Now, I'm going to take a wild guess because Christina Ricci is here. Have you had a chance to have any pictures or anything?
Yes. This afternoon we've got one, so we're looking forward to that. We always try and do a group photo each year of something crazy, so this is the chosen one for this year.
And what made you pick this one particularly for this year? Is it because Christina Ricci was here?
Yeah.
That was the influence. And what do you from? I'm going to guess you've done this before, yeah? You were saying that.
I own a fancy dress shop.
So, So when it comes to costumes, obviously it's Adam's Family this time. Who else have you come as? Who else have you dressed up as for event?
Well, last year we were Blackadder, we were Queenie, Blackadder, Bob, and our son was Baldric. I'm usually Wonder Woman. This one's usually Thor or
Wolverine. That's the other one. Or Conan the Barbarian.
And do you have like a website or anything that can be followed on?
Well, Fancy Pants Emporium is our shop.
And with regard to the costumes, for anyone who wants to do this, what would you say is the most difficult thing? What advice would you give to anybody? I'll ask you that one.
Don't leave the wig to the last minute. And make sure your hair gel hasn't gone off.
Planning.
Lots of planning. And also, if you're building or making a costume yourself, one of the most important things to work out is, are you going to be able to go to the toilet wearing it?
Yes.
That's what I always work out first.
Always check that.
Practicalities, because it looks brilliant on the films on screen, but so much of it is CGI'd when you do it for real. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having a quick chat with me, and I hope you have a really nice day.
And
thank you very much.
But the funniest part for me was when we were talking to some people, they had boxed items, one of those secret.
I zoned out.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember the company name, but yeah, it was basically that.
I put that down for lack of sleep because, like I said, I finished and I got called in on nights.
Yeah,
an emergency thing where a customer on site and we had to produce this certain chocolate bar for them, and I literally didn't sleep at all until it was going to be about 6 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah.
And I literally had 2 hours sleep and then back in on the night shift again.
Yeah, because you left me at about 2:30, 3 o'clock, didn't you? So,
yep.
And that was from an early start as well, because we met up at about 10. So, yeah. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so to tell the story, so there was some guys there that were, secret boxes, which they've got different they got Batman things in, or they're all themed boxes, aren't they?
Like a sort of loot crate type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So so Nathan goes over to him and the guy is chatting away, and all of a sudden I'm realising that Nathan has just zoned out completely. I went, oh yes, because the guy was going, the poor guy was sort of he was just on the spot. You could see that he was just dying.
I felt bad because I felt so rude doing that, but I couldn't help it. I really wanted to apologise to the guy, but I thought
he's not going to remember you.
No, he's not.
No, and that's no disrespect to you, but he isn't going to remember you, so don't worry. But yeah, I think I covered it pretty well, and I said, "Oh yeah, can I take a leaflet about it? And when we have a little wander around, we might come back later, sort of thing." But I was just like, Nathan, afterwards. He's like, I was just so bored.
His voice had a one tone to it as well.
Yeah.
Kind of like white noise to a baby.
Yeah.
I don't want to say horrible saying that, but it's sort of made me just want to sleep.
Yeah. Oh, it was so funny though. It really made me chuckle as as we were walking away. I'm a very good friend, but I've got an evil side to me as well. That I said to her, well, there's this podcast that talks about Justin Bieber all the time. You should check it out.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I did. But I did then tell her that you might actually not really want to listen.
Just play her the theme song and see what you think.
The thing is, every time she talks about Justin Bieber, it just goes through my head.
It is catchy, isn't it? It's a catchy little tune.
It is. It's an amazing song. I don't like the C word personally, but that is the only time that I actually say it. So I'm not going to say it now.
Okay, don't. We won't.
No. I mean, if you feel free to say whatever you want to say, I'm not going to stop you, but that's not my...
Well, I got in a lot of trouble for using that word early on in Babylon, and here in the States, it has a very different connotation. Usually it's specifically a female insult, and a lot of women were offended by my using it. But for me and my friends, I'm such an Anglophile. I've always grown up with British music and British comedy and British actors, and I've always been a fan of the culture. So I, early on as a kid, used to listen to Dudley Moore and Peter Cook and the Beyond the Fringe and all those guys, and you would hear them use that word just as an insult to anyone all the time, and so I always incorporated that into my curse words, and so I often have to explain to people, and I say, no, you fucking cunt, you fucking cunt. I mean, it has nothing to do with being a woman. It has to do with being a cunt. Don't be a fucking cunt, you fucking cunt.
Yeah, exactly. See, you can say it like that all the time if you like, because that makes me laugh. So
it's just Dudley Moore and Peter Cook. They had this amazing sketch where they would just go back and forth calling each other a fucking cunt. It used to make me and my friends laugh so hard. So that's always been part of me.
Yeah, so I don't mind the word, like sort of explaining now, but I don't mind the word being out there, being used and things. If somebody directed at me, then I'd have something to say about it. But
Understandable.
yeah, I'm sort of not a fan of it, but at the same time, I do sing it quite loudly with the Justin Bieber thing song.
Fair enough. And of course, also, you fucking cunt. You fucking cunt. Who you calling a cunt? Yeah, I'm calling you a cunt, you fucking cunt. So calling you a cunt, you fucking cunt.
I always feel like, I should just listen to that on a daily basis, and then it will almost brainwash me into thinking, it's fine, it's just a word.
It takes the sting right out of it when you hear it over and over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so this time next week, I'm going to be absolutely fine about it.
That's right.
I just wondered, did you want to promote, of course, the Ralph Report?
Of course, yes. I mean, I want to thank you, because even before anything existed, even before the Ralph Report existed, you were so kind to me, and you went out of your way to create that fan page Twitter account for the Ralph Report, and you stepped up immediately. As soon as I announced the project, you stepped up, and you were there for me to help promote it and to cheerlead for the project itself before I even had gotten any content out there. And I was so taken aback and so thankful for you doing that. So I wanted to repay the favor at least a little bit by coming on your show and talking to you today.
No, but you're welcome. I didn't even think twice about doing it, really. I think I had the idea in my head, and I just go, like I said earlier, I just go with my ideas. So obviously anything that can help you, I think the way that K-Rock let you go, I think, that was disgusting, really.
Well, thank you. And I wouldn't mind otherwise, but, having a family, having a wife and kid, and having to be responsible for taking care of a family, it was, I wish they had given me some more heads up so I could have arranged my life differently. So it is, this new project is my way to keep doing what I do best, in my opinion, and try to make a living off of doing that. And people have, I think, understood that and have responded tremendously, and we're well on our way. So I want to thank everyone who has subscribed at patreon.com/The Ralph Report.
There you go. So I highly recommend joining, because like I said, we've already got 5 episodes, I believe?
There was a couple previews just to sort of test it out and just to see what people thought. And then the first 2 episodes really are out there now. And that's really kind of how, what the show will be like regularly moving forward. Hopefully, of course, it will progress and it'll evolve, and we'll be adding more people and then new correspondents and things like that. But I think the first 2 episodes this week kind of give an idea to people what to expect.
Yeah, and I felt very, very patriotic when you started playing Rule Britannia.
Yeah, we've got a UK correspondent already for the show, Steve Ashton, who is very funny and very talented, and we'll be checking in with him every week to talk about all things UK, because we know we have such a big UK audience. So I definitely wanted to service them as well, because they're such loyal fans, not only to myself, but to Hollywood Babylon and to Kevin. So you'll be well represented.
Yeah. Now, look, there's one important thing that we do need to cover, Gemma, if that's possible, if I can ask.
No.
It's the tea thing.
I love the fact that I said no and you carried on anyway.
Well, look, you knew it was coming anyway, right? The tea thing. So just for people listening, so Gemma and I got into this discussion about how to make tea, whether you put milk in first or you put the milk in after the water. So
after.
and you're adamant that the milk goes in after, right?
I'm adamant that I know how to make a good cup of tea and it goes in after, yeah.
Okay, so this is a thing. This is a bit like the debates that one would have about tomato ketchup versus brown sauce, right? Do you know why people used to put milk in their tea first?
No.
So the reason, and this is according to Fortnum and Mason, their website, it's because in the early days of tea drinking, when it first came over from India and China and places like that, we only had poor quality cups and poor china. So people, and they'd have little hairline cracks in them. So if you put hot water into a cup that was cracked, it would split the cup, right? So it'd fall to pieces. And then what happened was, as people got more, as people got wealthier, certainly the upper classes, they were able to afford better china, right? So they would put their milk in second rather than first. And it was only sort of working class and northerners and, poor people like me and my generation, well, not my generation, but certainly my compatriots and brothers, the workers, put their milk in first because they had dodgy dodgy china.
Okay, so basically, right now, the conversation is between you being a pauper and me being a wealthy, rich person.
You're a posh southerner, and I'm a rough northerner.
Where are you actually from, then? Because you're not from the north, are you?
I am, yeah. So originally, I was brought up in a place called Wigan, which I'm sure you've heard of.
Oh, yes, I have, yes.
Wigan's famous for not many things. One of the things it's famous for is Uncle Joe's mint balls.
Oh, okay.
And for anyone listening who's not from the UK, hasn't heard of that before, that's not a medical condition. It's not something that you would phone in sick from and say, I can't come in today, sir. I've got Uncle Joe's mint balls. But that's from Uncle Joe's, from Wigan. And of course, George Formby.
Yes.
Do you know George Formby?
I do. I've been cleaning windows. Yeah, that was him, wasn't it?
Exactly. And Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen. Oh, wow.
So Ian McKellen for many years lived in a place called Hindley, which is near where I used to live. So there you go. I mean, you've got Magneto, mint balls, and George Formby. So ukulele playing bucktooth weirdo. And me.
Oh, and you, yes. and I mean, who wouldn't want to live in Wigan?
Which is like a mixture of all three. I'm magnetic, I'm unattractive, and I've got minty balls.
Welcome to the podcast. Mr. Eddie Pence.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Hi, Eddie.
You're always welcome, Eddie. You're the highlight of my everyday.
Oh, really? Is that a good thing?
Yeah.
That's good.
For any of the listeners that don't know who you are, which shame on them if they don't.
That's quite a few people, I'm sure.
Andy.
I'll be sat here quietly in the corner.
Could you tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, please?
I've been in the entertainment business for about 20 years, doing stand-up comedy and acting and all that sort of stuff. And I've known Ralph Garman probably 6 or 7 years, maybe 8 years. And I met him. I won a contest at his radio station he used to be on, the K-Rock radio station. Cool. I won a contest to open up for their big stand-up show they do once a year at the Shrine Auditorium, where they used to host the Oscars every year. And that was years and years ago. Mm. And I won that. I got to open up the show, and I kind of met him there, and we just sort of became buddies. And I would hang out the Improv where they do Hollywood Babylon. I don't know if your listeners listen to that podcast. Well, that's a Kevin Smith podcast he does.
Yeah, I think all three of us do. Definitely me and James, anyway.
I'd hang out there because I hang out at the Improv anyway because I'm a comic, and Ralph and I would shoot the crap every time we do a show. We just hang out and had a good time. And I guess he started his own thing after the K-Rock stuff happened, and he started his own Patreon show, and he just asked me to join about 3 or 4 months in because I guess he was sick of talking to himself all day long, so he wanted someone to talk to, and he asked me to do it, and I was glad to jump in, and I've been there ever since. I'm going almost a year now. I guess it'll be a year in May.
Yeah, it will be, I think.
Yeah.
Because I've been a listener from day one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm that crazy girl that calls in once in a while.
I'm your number one fan.
I am actually.
But I mean, he's a great guy, and I was really honored he trusted me enough to bring me in and do it with him like that. So it's been a real fun ride the last 8 or 9 months, getting to know all of his fans and the way they've accepted me and brought me in to the Garmy, and it's been fun.
And of course, your own fan group, which is the Idiots.
Yeah, the Idiots. I guess that's just starting now, the Idiots, but which is brilliant, by the way. I can't believe no one ever thought of that before.
Yeah, for anybody who doesn't know, basically it's it's a running joke that Eddie is a bit of an idiot.
I'm wrong about 97% of the time.
Yeah, I was going to say lovable idiot though, but so that's why his fan base have now been called the Idiots. So you got the Garmy and the Idiots,
which in the Urban Dictionary, idiots actually means people who are very smart that act dumb. So
perfect.
There is a meaning to it. It doesn't apply here, but there is a meaning to it.
I'm just going to cut that last bit out.
Well, yeah, cut it out.
Yeah, so, one of my questions was going to be, how did you meet up with Ralph? But obviously,
I covered that in the bio. Yeah. Sorry.
You did, yeah. Yeah, crap. Sorry
about that.
Sorry. Thanks for your time. We're 4 minutes in. I'm done. Bye.
To be fair, Eddie, if you do the work for us, we'll be very happy. So if we go down and basically you've answered all our questions on the list.
No, we can get out early and grab lunch. Well, dinner for you guys, I guess.
That's it.
I mean, I made a joke on chat a few moments ago, but obviously I'm happy to mention it. I said to Eddie, "Oh, please, could you be a guest on the show?" And he said, absolutely, which was brilliant news. And then a few moments ago, I also said to him, could you possibly record your own audio? So I'm the most demanding host in the world. Be on my show, record your own audio, please.
Bring your own snacks.
How good is it that Eddie will do this stuff for us, you see? 10 out of 10 on that, Eddie.
Could you interview yourself?
How do you interview yourself? What did you just say?
Could you interview yourself?
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. No, sorry.
Oh, great. My first joke on the podcast bombed. Great.
Yeah.
So
what do you do for a living again?
So Jen's exactly. At editing. She can put our laughter straight afterwards.
I record podcasts. That's what I do for a living.
We just finished doing a ramble, and he thinks that Funkos are going to be they're like Beanie Babies. He thinks they're going to be done in like 5 years. I don't know. Some of them are worth a fuckload.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to die off or not. What do you think?
I hope that they don't, because it's something that I really love, and I love collecting them.
Right.
Yeah, and I never take them out of the box either. So it's like they have to stay in the box.
Mine go out.
I'll just say Beanie Babies.
Yeah. My worry be the bubble will, get oversaturated and pop, because there's that many different versions of them that are out.
There's so many. Look, I have. This is a Weird Al.
Cool. But yes, I love Weird Al.
I also have
wow,
2 fucking Weird Als. Like, do we need? 2 Weird Als? I don't know.
No, you don't. So send me one of them, please.
Yeah. Deal.
But it's Weird Al. I mean, come on.
Come on. This I think is a pretty good score. I got the Beverly Hills Cop, him putting the bananas in the tailpipe. I had to grab that one. That was.
See, this is the thing about the incredible variety and the risk of a saturated market. You name it, they made it.
Right.
I'm just going to get a couple of my favourite ones a second.
All right, good. When are they going to start doing porn stars?
Porn stars, you know it'll happen.
There's going to be porn star pops that are going to come out, no question. It's going to be who's the guy with the giant dick that died of AIDS? Who is the guy that they made the movie about where Val Kilmer played him? Son of a bitch. What? John Holmes, that guy. They'll have him with just a giant fucking Funko Pop, dick, just swinging down. I think, hey, what up, man?
There we go. I don't know what you can see.
I thought I'd join from my phone.
Nice.
We can see you.
What's up, Andy?
And now we can see. I have no idea what we can see now. It's like we're stuck in something going round and round and round and round.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
There it is.
Excellent.
There it is. Oh, hell yeah.
Ah, there he is. So,
who is this? Oh, Deadpool the Duck.
Yep.
Yeah, tremendous. Beautiful. Beautiful. What's this one?
yeah, Beetlejuice.
Oh, nice. Okay, so I got one for you. A fire starts, God forbid. Which one do you, if you can only grab one, which one do you grab?
I've got a couple of Kevin Smith ones. I think I'd probably have to grab them, but
They're the ones. Okay.
I've also got all 3 of the Shaun of the Dead ones, and one of them is signed by Simon
yep.
Pegg, so I'm kind of like,
Wow.
Holy shit. No, you got to hold on to
yeah,
that one.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's the one.
Actually, I've never got into the Funko stuff. I've seen it. I know enough, I know exactly what you're on about, but I've never dabbled.
You know, I was the same way. I didn't give a fuck about them until they did the Witcher video game series, and I'm like, ooh, I got to get these. And then I don't know why, but this one's my favorite. Fredo from The Godfather. Look at that, Fredo Corleone. That is, they made a Fredo pop, and then Hans Gruber from Die Hard. I had to get the
amazing.
Hans Gruber. So yeah, that was like
So, Pawn Stars, you're right, will probably get turned into Funkos, but what do you reckon the next thing they'll do is? What's the next big thing they're going to definitely end up doing another Ghostbusters one with the new film coming out. That's a given.
Yeah.
What else do you reckon they'll do?
So you're saying what's the next line of Funko that's going to go crazy?
What do you reckon it'll be? What's your theory? 'Cause I know like Ghostbusters would definitely happen with the 2020 stuff. 'Cause they already do Ghostbusters now.
All right, so here's my hope. Now I know it's kind of different, but they started doing Pokemon. So I'm hoping we get some Nintendo just says fuck it, and we get like Legend of Zelda and some Super Mario ones. That would be that's my
would
call.
be good.
That would be amazing. I would be all over that shit. But I hope that's what's next. Yeah,
that would be good.
I know Nintendo's very protective of putting their stuff out there, but since they are doing Pokemon, maybe those guys are next. That's what I'm hoping.
I tell you what would be really interesting if they did on the Nintendo one, if they did Mario, but they did the Mario Brothers film.
So it's Bob Hoskins. That would be great. Yeah, Bob Hoskins. It'd be great if they should do a
Dennis
line.
Hopper.
I don't know if this happens over there, but over here, there's just like every other month, some teacher fucked like 4 or 5 of her students.
Oh, geez, yeah.
That would be great. A line of teachers who have fucked students. That would be a great Funko Pop. I'd be all over that if they had just a line of just...
Oh, you can imagine, yes.
Yeah.
Someone sick enough will create that, yeah.
These teachers they can punch in any weight division they want because they are not ugly teachers.
No, it's true.
They're always
It's
attractive, aren't they? I've never fathomed that one. And they go out with some like 13-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, woman?
What's the appeal?
I have to say there was one teacher in my school that he was quite nice.
You would have done it. You'd have been all over that.
Yeah.
He could have had it. No, there's a few. Yeah, there's always a few. And for whatever reason, they either teach science or English. Those are the hot chicks.
Yep.
Always gravitate towards science or English. And you're like, oh my God.
He was a science teacher, ironically. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Math. No one wants to fuck a math teacher. Man.
You never saw the maths teacher we had at our school. She was something very special.
Was she? Dude, she was a pioneer. She should have fucked that man.
Did she teach you some interesting angles there, James?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Here, get your protractor. We're going to do all this. We're going to do all this shit.
I don't ever get to see how proud Andy is of his jokes.
At the angle of Andy's video, though, it looks like we're watching like a serial killer's video.
Oh, that's good. I think another one would be all the people who have been busted in the Me Too movement. That would be a great line of pop vinyls. Like you get Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein. And, I think that would be fucking tremendous. I would love that too. I'd be all over that.
Yeah.
I hope those are next. God, I hope those are next. Man, that would be amazing. The Me Too's. The Me Too
Yeah,
vinyl.
God, that would be good.
And it'd be
You should do that.
Go on. Sorry, Andy.
Yeah, I was going to say you should do that as a top 10.
Yeah, top 10 Me Too vinyl. Like, who would be the top 10 Me Too pop vinyl?
Contributors have got to give the category and their top 10 within that category.
That would be great. Oh, that'd be great. So then you could have variants. You'd have one with Cosby and one of his stupid sweaters, and then one with him like actually holding a cup of coffee. Like, you know, like that would be that would be great.
Or chocolate pudding. Yeah.
Yeah, some pudding pops.
But no, I was going to say it would be actually quite interesting to see how slowly they sold.
Oh, no. I think they'd fly off the shelves, those.
I think they'd be on the collector's market.
The darker the subject, the quicker they go.
The quicker they go.
Correct.
That's so true. And that's sad.
Yeah.
That is a sad fact.
It is. It really is.
Man. So this is true Ramble fashion. Do you have like an official format that you need to follow here that I'm fucking up? Go ahead. I feel bad now.
No, this is very good. I like this. This is a good ramble.
So 21 minutes in.
Yeah, 21 minutes in. This is a ramble record, everybody.
Yeah.
We did it. This is it. The ramble hasn't even done.
Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Am I going to see?
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
God, an international bless you from 3 people. Wow.
Yes.
I feel blessed.
Well, that's good. Do you know what, actually, that isn't my codswallop this week, but actually that is a codswallop of mine. It really annoys me when people sneeze and nobody random says, bless you.
There's an old joke about that. You guys ever watch Dane Cook?
Not personally. No.
Dane Cook has a joke about that. He goes, I don't say bless you because I'm not the Lord. Or something like that. It's just like very funny. It's a funny bit. I'm not doing it justice.
Well, I think I do it because, like, I've watched. Have you ever seen Dogma by Kevin Smith?
Yes.
He's going around and he's shooting all of the movies people. And then there's that one girl that he was about to shoot because she didn't say bless you. And so it's always like stuck in my mind. I'm like, I can't have an evil.
Do you know where bless you comes from?
No.
Oh man, you're getting a straight education on this podcast. So bless you comes from Europe, your native lands.
Yep.
It comes from Europe during the bubonic plague.
Okay.
And when people would sneeze, they thought that they were sick with the plague. And so people would say bless you because they thought they were going to die soon.
Oh, that
makes
is interesting.
sense.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
So it's kind of a morbid way. It continued into tradition, but people said bless you because they thought, you're with the dang plague. You're one of those plaguers.
The more you know, eh? Thank you.
Yeah.
Bless your soul. Hope your life was good because you're about to be out.
Yeah. Basically, you're fucked.
How's your wife doing? Is she sneezing?
Yeah, right? I hope so.
Do you want to know another fun fact?
Yes, please.
The bubonic plague started in my hometown in Waverley.
That is something to be proud of.
I know.
It is pretty much the only thing the Southwest can be proud of.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, it's just hundreds and hundreds of years of filthy conditions and have led you to where you are now.
Yep.
That's good to know. Is there a sign that says the home of the bubonic plague and it's like an ironclad rat? Diseased and
do you know what I'm
on its back?
It's sadly not, but I'm thinking that I'm gonna get some artists to do that. I'm not arty enough to do that myself, but I think
that would be good.
Yeah.
You're missing the big tourism market of people who are just bubonic plague seekers.
Yeah, exactly.
Crowdfund it. It'd happen.
Yeah, well, because we've got like a big smuggling background in the area as well.
Smuggling and the plague. You guys are all hits over there.
Rock and roll.
You're really selling it, Gemma, aren't you? So some plague-ridden area that's full of people are smuggling things.
But also, the Southwest is also the home of the best cannonballs that could ever be produced when cannons were in fashion.
Yep, indeed.
Really? Cannonballs, smugglers, the plague. Oh my.
Yeah.
I clearly can't leave this town.
The Dark Ages, what a time to be alive in the Southwest.
Sounds like a lot of death down there. Not a lot of death. I mean, I can see why you wouldn't want to leave.
Or is it just that you can't leave, Jen, because of that white cross painted on the door of your house?
Yeah, Yeah, that's why.
Well, the thing is, it's also known as the Jurassic Coastline, isn't it?
It
Around
is.
that way.
Yeah.
That's true.
Jurassic coastline. What do you guys have? Dinosaurs and stuff?
Yeah, exactly that. So it's basically because there is a lot of sea around where I live, there is like, things like dinosaur bones and like fossils and things like that. There's certain beaches you can go to and you can actually quite easily find them just laying on the ground.
Wow.
Only very small ones. However, we have in our back garden, we've got one of the big, massive, is it an ammonite? Ammonite, yeah. We've actually got one of those in our back garden.
Cool.
Because my dad used to work at a prison, so he was a prison officer. And in the wall of one of the, where they were digging, or not digging, that sounds awful, trying to get out of prison. But yeah.
Shawshank.
Yeah. They were, but they were doing some work anyway. And they actually found it. And the prisoners had like a lot of respect for my dad. They actually dug it out and then they presented it to him, which was kind of nice.
Excellent.
Give him a dinosaur bone?
No, it was, it's a big, it's kind of
fossilized dinosaur poo, isn't it?
No, it's a sea creature.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
is
it's
it?
a sea
Okay.
creature.
What is it?
It kind of looks like a massive snail shell.
Oh, I like snails.
Yeah. So it kind of has got that pattern to it, but it is actually prehistoric.
Wow. So yeah, I mean, the prison, the plague, dinosaurs, cannonballs, hashtag Southwest London.
Southwest England, yeah.
Oh, Southwest England.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah.
It's just a lot. It's really a lot to offer. I mean, I don't even know if I'd have enough time to see all the sites between the cannonballs and the prison and the plague statue that needs to be built.
Yeah.
And the Mary Rose.
Oh, yeah. True.
Don't forget the Mary Rose. Yeah. A rotting wooden ship that has to be kept sprayed in water to stop it from falling apart, and it's our greatest cultural heritage.
It's just the way you describe it, a rotting ship.
A rotted ship? Is there anything alive and thriving in this area? Or-
Oh, fuck no. No.
Just Gem.
Not even the people.
We're all just heritage of this country now. It's all we've got left.
But the other thing that I was going to say is we have got a CERN giant.
Ooh, have you?
Sun what?
A CERN giant.
A sun giant?
No, CERN. CERNE.
What's that?
CERN?
That's it, yeah. So I'm saying it with my accent, so that's probably why you can't understand, sorry.
What's a CERN giant?
Yeah.
Right, okay. There's a village called Cern Abbas. Basically, it's on a massive field. There is an outline drawing of a naked man on the grass.
Oh, one of the chalk.
The chalk, yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And it used to be a thing where women who wanted to be pregnant would walk up to the field and sit on a certain area, and then they would, then they would find out that they have conceived.
Jiggy looks terrified about this.
Is that how you guys think babies work in Southwest England?
Yeah.
You get to sit on a sun goddess, and that's how it happens?
It is, isn't it?
I guess it might be. You have to ask the dinosaurs in the area.
The Stoics are too progressive for us, basically.
See, I'm too lazy to find out. I can't be asked to walk up the hill, so...
Fair enough. Well, a lot to see.
Yeah, there is a lot to see. Yeah.
So make sure when you're on tour, you take at least 2 days out in the Southwest.
I will. Yeah, if I'm looking to really just dive into depression, I know where to go.
Just say, you will be traumatized.
Yeah.
And maybe a third day just to recover from all the excitement.
Yeah.
It's so true. You should live here. It's so exciting. But that's okay.
How did our language change so differently?
I don't know.
It's the same language. Like, how did that word become something else over here?
I don't know.
It's like fanny is a completely different word, so I always laugh whenever I hear the word fanny pack.
Yeah.
Fanny, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Fanny is like, we say like your fanny is like your butt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your backside.
Well, that's what you call it, yeah.
Yeah.
Fanny pack too. Well, listen, I haven't worn a fanny pack since 1989.
See, because we call them bum bags.
Bum bags, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
But bum bags
It's the
that you
same
wear
thing.
in the front.
Yeah. Weird.
Say like I fancy you. That means like you have like you're attracted to that person, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't say that here.
What do you say?
Like a fancy. I was like, what are you talking about? Somebody says that to you over here. Like, what? What does that mean? You think I'm fancy?
What would you guys say then instead?
I wouldn't say anything. I'm terrible at that stuff.
Get your coat.
But the things we would all say things like, "Oh, I really fancy a beer."
People say that. Yeah, people say that too.
Yeah, so
I've seen the In-Betweeners.
yeah, excellent.
I've watched the Benny Hill show growing up.
And we don't just say cheers either for
Yes, I know.
thank you. Yeah, we say cheer or cheers as in, yeah, it's kind of a thank you. It's for cheers when you're clinking your drinks and yeah.
Right.
I got told off for saying that when I was in Miami with my friend. She was like, "Can you stop saying cheers? It doesn't mean the same thing."
It does.
I was just saying cheers to everything.
Oh, you're saying cheers. Here, it kind of annoys me when an American says it. It's like, stop. I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. You're not. You don't get to use that term. My friends from England get to use that.
You should walk up to them and say, "Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves."
I'm just going to be like, anybody want a fag? I should go say that.
Anyone want to come smoke a fag with me?
Yes. Anybody want to smoke a fag with me? I got a bunch of fags on me, and if I say that in New York, I might wind up, on some kind of like list.
Big thing we're here for today is the ruffles. So the question, well, if you could just tell me a bit about how you started with that, where the idea. So it was like a combination, wasn't it, of yourself? I think. Was it? Did George Harrison come in initially on that?
Let me get to to do it chronologically, because I was touring with Python by then. We were doing live shows, and we did 4 weeks at Drury Lane. And it was at Drury Lane that Eric said to me, "Do you fancy doing some television with me?" And my memories of television was "Do not adjust your set. The Bonzer's on the road. What are we going to do? I don't know. The last minute, turn up, do something." And the camera's never pointing anywhere. So I said, "Well, I'm not sure I'm that keen on television, Eric, actually." He said, "Why?" And I said, "Because cameras never, point where you want them and things like that." He said, "Well, you can tell the cameras where to point." I went, oh, this is different, All right, tell me more. And it was, he was, cashing in, if you like, on the way that British television was. All the independent companies had to bid for a franchise, and the franchises were sort of coming up, and so he thought he'd put in a bid for Rutland, the smallest county in England, the Rutland Weekend Television. Therefore, it wouldn't have much money, so all the budgets would be like Holy Grail. And the BBC Two loved it. Cheap television, all right. There was a bit of a Python thrown in. So they went for it. And my job was to sort of come up with musical ideas, and he wrote sketches. Of the Pythons, he always wrote on his own anyway. And so we meet every week or so and write down, well, what have you got? And I said, well, remember, it's got to be cheap. And a cheap musical idea I thought would be a spoof of A Hard Day's Night, because it's black and white and speeded up, 4 guys in wigs, tight trousers, running around a field. Cheap. So I had this song with an interesting middle eight, and I said, let's do A Hard Day's Night. And he said, great, because I've got an idea for a documentary maker who's so boring the camera runs away from him. So with those two things were put into Rutland Weekend Television, and you'd have thought that would have been it. I certainly thought that it was it. And then what happens, in life, there's Sid Bernstein in America trying to, coax the Beatles back together again by offering them $20 million each and a killer whale as a pet, And Saturday Night Live, the satirical program over there on NBC, were running with the gag of trying to get the Beatles back together again. And they got George Harrison on, and Lorne Michaels, the producer, was waving a wad of $3,000 under his nose, which is the fee for 4 musicians in the studio. And said, "Oh, this could be yours, George. Just get the guys back together." And George is doing terrible acting deliberately. He said, "What? All of this for me?" And he snatches it back and says, No, you have to share it with the other guy. Maybe you don't have to tell Ringo. They were doing these jokes. And so the next thing Lorne says, well, we're happy to announce we've got Eric Idle to come and host next week's show because he says he can get the Beatles together for $300. So they spin it out, and then eventually the time has come, and we've just heard from Eric. We were worried, but it was a bad line, and we couldn't be sure. But anyway, apparently he hasn't got the Beatles together, he's got the Ruttles. So they showed the clip from the BBC, and the audience at Saturday Night Live just went ballistic and wanted to play as well. And they all wrote in, and some even sent Beatles albums in with Beatles crossed out, Ruttles written there. And it took Lorne 20 minutes to go downstairs to the money people and come up with the whole budget, which became the Ruttles All You Need Is Cash. And I'm sitting there on the windowsill, so any minute now, I know what they're going to say, and they're getting all excited, we're doing the whole story. Oh. And Neil, do you think you can write 30 more Ruttle songs by next Thursday lunchtime? So that's what I was, and I said, well, I'll try. But I got a following wind. I instinctively knew I shouldn't listen to any Beatles songs. I thought, well, where was I when I heard that? Where was I? What was life? And I took my existence, in like a triangulation, if you like, of where the Beatles song was and what was happening, and I tried not to demean them in any way, So it was a labour of love, and the other rule, if I can sing it to someone on a guitar or a piano, and it doesn't rely on any kind of trickery or anything like it's a song.
I'm intrigued though with Slimer. One of the things I want to ask is, what do you think Slimer was? Do you have a theory?
What I was told on the set, and it's so funny, I've heard rumors, and this is rumors, that it was kind of supposed to emulate John Belushi.
I've heard that too.
And nobody ever came out to me ever, I promise you, on the set and said, okay, be John Belushi. But I did watch Animal House. I watched a few and some SNL with John Belushi just to kind of look at his energy. And so I kind of, I tried, John Belushi had such a great, abandon of his physicality. He could just be as crazy as ever. And he had a lot of joy on camera when he was acting. And that's what I tried to pick up on. Nobody ever told me, go be John Belushi. But I kind of, through rumors, I thought, you know what? It might be good to just kind of look at his energy and just kind of pick up on that, which is what I did. But, yeah. But as far as, I always think, I don't know, as far as like who he was before he died, is that what you're asking? What you think Slimer was?
Oh yeah, I mean, you've covered both. You've given me the Belushi. I think you have blown my mind with the Belushi one to a degree because I will never watch the film. I think in the same way.
And you know what? It makes sense. It makes sense just watching the original Ghostbusters that they might have been thinking of his energy when they kind of thought of Slimer. But, and I remember on the set when we were working, the only thing they would tell me, I remember the director of photography coming up, was like, be more boyish, be more butch, just be a butch. Don't, I can tell that you've had dancing experience, be more butch. And so I just had to really concentrate on not making anything feminine that I was doing, like just being very, not looking like a dancer or being like I'm a girl. I just tried to focus on that. But it's funny. No, I hadn't really thought of what he was before he died. I just thought of him as a insatiable eater who maybe was like a food aficionado when he was alive and died and just has great abandon of energy and doesn't care what anyone else thinks and does what he wants to do.
That's breaking news from Robin Shelby there on the theory of what Slimer could have been. So maybe he was a restaurant critic in a previous life.
He could have been a restaurant aficionado or a critic, yes. And I'm thinking he loved his wine and champagne. and love the good food and even the hot dogs now and then. But yeah, I think with Slimer, the only thing I tried to focus on with him as a character is just reckless abandon of energy.
Gemma, I hate to correct your copy here, but it should be YOU''RE. It's not the possessive.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
First off, something that nobody can see, I'm going to criticize you about.
Okay. Well, I'm dyslexic, so I'm ever so sorry about that. Yeah.
So are you good at dyslexia?
I am actually, yes.
All right.
I actually do quite enjoy that game. I do it a lot better than you guys.
Wait, that's not punctuation is not like you can't explain away punctuation with dyslexia though.
Yeah, you can.
That's bullshit. No, that's a bullshit excuse, right? That doesn't sound accurate.
You can do anything that you want to do when you choose to.
Yeah, otherwise, you're shaming somebody. I get you.
Do you think it's better to have loved and lost, or not loved at all?
Loved and lost, or not loved at all? Well, that's a difficult question because really, can you answer it if you have never loved at all? Because then you don't know what it really feels like to have loved and lost. Of course not, man. I mean, what is life but just like a series of ever-changing, chaotic events and shifting emotions and shit? So that is just a part of life. It's just getting your heart broken or whatever the fuck. That sounds kind of corny and shit, right? To say that, but it's, you know, everything that happens shapes you into who you are. So if you're okay with who you are, then, and part of that is like you love somebody and then they fucking died or left you or whatever, then, you know, like all you're doing when you go through life is just like absorbing all these experiences and making them a part of you. So I would say loved and lost. If you never love at all, then you're like Ming, you're a sociopath, right? So
right, who wants to be that?
Nobody wants to be that.
No, definitely.
Except for Ming. Ming seems entirely content with it. So
yeah, he seems quite happy, doesn't he? So
yeah. Yeah, loved and lost. Unless you do it too much, then you have to start examining yourself. Like, maybe it's my fault that I'm loving and losing all the time.
Yeah, maybe.
Right. Yeah. Because automatically you're gonna want to blame the other person. Like, oh well, they're the reason that. You know, if they died, it's definitely their fault. If they left you or for whatever reason, then it's their fault. But you know, if not, then you have to sort of examine, well, what did I do? Me, I like to be faultless, so I never examine it.
Yeah, I never do anything wrong either.
Somebody else's fault. They fucked up, not me.
Yeah, because like I had quite a traumatic relationship before. Well, right before sort of about 6 years ago. And sort of in the last 6 years, I haven't really dated anyone because of that. So I thought that, I was interested, but I kind of shut myself off to...
Traumatic in what way?
He was mentally abusive, and he also just kept cheating on me and everything as well. So,
and then you look back and you're like, because there was definitely like a tipping point, but even before that, you probably look back and you're like, oh, I should have broken up with him this time, or I should have broken up with him that time, and then you start like, why the fuck didn't I?
Yeah,
right. Everybody does that, I think.
Yeah, I felt trapped, but then instead of sort of verbalizing it, I sort of ate my feelings, kept it all inside, and now I'm trying to sort of lose the weight so that I can get back out there, really.
Well, yeah, and like stop letting the ghost of this guy affect you, right?
Yeah, I'm letting him win at the moment.
Kind of, yeah, because it's not like you're pining for him, but at the same time, there's a certain level of influence he has over your life that you don't want him to have, and you can make it so he doesn't have that. You know, what a dick. Why are you? I don't understand. And it's not just guys. Girls are mentally abusive, and some girls are like super physically abusive. Yeah. And then a guy is like, what am I going to do? Like there's girls attacking me. Yeah. But if you even put your hands up to like stop it, then everyone's like, oh, what an asshole. And no one would ever believe you if, the girl's like, oh, he hit me. It's like automatically you hit her. And even if it's like later on she's like, I was lying, he didn't hit me, it's like, nah, he hit her. Yeah. Like nobody ever believes the guy. But yeah, I've had girlfriends attack me in the past,
Yeah.
for saying shit, because that's what I'll do,
Yeah, they might punch you in the arm I suppose it's a bit more than that, obviously.
Well, like in an argument, yeah, like I'll get very like psychological on them, and then and frustrate them to the point where that's what they do. Sometimes just act out, and attack you. But that's almost a win in my book. If you can like break somebody like that, if you can get them to go after you, then that's a win. You don't have to shove them or hit them or anything.
Welcome everyone to Calling the Codswallop featuring PBR, Ming, Chen, Mike Zapcic for the post Super Duper Bowl special.
Wow, good job.
Right in here. You got to get it.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Do you think you can do it again and maybe use our names, or are we just PBR gentlemen?
Yeah, and also maybe lose the accent.
Can you do
That's
it as
really hard to understand.
Like, do it as if you're an American.
All right, guys.
Yeah, do it as if you're a Texan. Can you do the Texas accent?
Yeah, that's British bullshit that you're trying to.
Howdy, boys. Here we are. Yeehaw.
I like the accent, but yeah, maybe give us a shout out.
Give us can you give us like a dirty American Asbury Park accent? And then we'll all go British. Let's just try that.
I'll go British.
Yeah. Do you need to smoke some crack first?
Some weed.
Asbury Park's still kind of cracky.
Is it though?
Certain parts.
Bit, yeah.
Certain parts are cracky.
Yeah,
Sure,
crack streets. Some crack things.
I guess Andy, if he ever gets his intro done, he can tell us about where he's staying.
That would be lovely. Why don't we not interrupt him anymore so
Cheerio,
he can get
mate.
an
Carry
intro?
on.
Go ahead, my friend.
We'll stop buggering. Do you hate us?
Oh, Codswallop.
Talking a lot of codswallop.
I don't even know what that
All right,
means.
y'all. Welcome to the Codswallop featuring Derek D, Mike Lano, Steve Arena, Taylor Allen, Mike Zapcic, and the one and only Ming Chen.
What's up?
Wow, that was wow.
And who might you be, my friend?
Hello, my name's Andy Payne.
Oh,
What accent was that? Was that like Texas? A little bit of Texas?
That was
yeah,
like
you had some twang going,
right?
Yeah,
that was
like that was unpacking, and when I'm in the post office.
Yeah, that was like Taylor's family.
Yeah, I'm from Farmingdale.
Accent.
That's good. That was very good.
Oh, come on, like New Jersey doesn't have rednecks?
Oh, yeah.
Holy Christ!
Like I said, I'm from Farmingdale. Forget it.
Well, if you ever go to South Jersey, like Salem County, that's a whole nother world down there.
They're fucking.
They're all just buffaloes. It's just not even people.
It's
anymore.
like and they say phone and home.
Oh, that's more of like a Philly thing.
We're in such a small state, yet the range of people from north to south
say
is
hoagies.
amazing. That's why Jersey rules.
My wife grew up in Gloucester. So that's just the shithole of shitholes. And she's like, thank you for saving me from that. And
He's
one
like,
time,
we're moving near Asbury Park. She's like, thank you.
Yes, that's awesome. Seriously, I've been thinking about getting a meth addiction. So thank you for that. But we were down there one time and these people drive like assholes. New Jersey, we all drive like assholes. We think we drive well, but most of us drive like assholes. This guy cuts me off and I'm like, fuck you. And I gave him the finger and he cuts me off again and forces me into a parking lot. And my wife is like 6 months pregnant. She's like, don't get out of the car, honey. Don't get out of the car. He pulls up right next to me and I look over and the hood of his car is you can see the engine. It is so rust eaten. And he's like, you got a problem with me, boy? And he
called you boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets out. He's got this gut. Like it's overhanging. He looks more pregnant than my 6 month pregnant wife. And I'm like, get back in your car. I've got like a tire iron right in my hand. I'm like, honey, I'm getting out and I'm going to take this guy. She's like, I don't want to, don't be a fucking idiot. I moved out of here because I didn't want to marry a fucking idiot like these people. So, but we settled our dispute.
But we killed him.
Yeah.
We killed him and now he's dead.
So where's he buried?
Problem solved.
And my wife has, for a 6 month pregnant lady, she's strong. Shit, she can dig a 6 foot ditch.
I was called boy once, and it was the most intimidating one of the most intimidating moments of my life. I was probably like 19 or 20. I was driving my motorcycle across country. We went down to South. I was with 3 of my friends, so there was 4 of us. All Jersey plates, all motorcycles, and on the road for a little bit. We went down to South Carolina and we turned west, and we were going through Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, like right before we're on our way to Texas.
A triple threat.
Yeah, man. And we stopped for gas. And when you're riding your motorcycle, you're riding for a long time. When you stop for gas, it's like an event.
Yeah.
You want to rest, you know? So we pulled in and it was like some backwoods gas station. There was imagine what a Wawa today would have been, a Wawa gas station today would have been in 1993, right? So front porch rocking chairs. It's almost like a Cracker Barrel in the middle, but like a real Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel with actual.
Take the barrel out of it and
Yeah,
a
like,
bunch
they
of
have them up-
crackers in there.
They have them up here because they're like kind of cool. There's rocking chairs and shit, but down there it's like this is a real Cracker Barrel.
You're going out for dinner and going Cracker Barrel.
There was nobody there. We were getting gas. We would get something like probably like getting some water, whatever we were doing, and there's an old man on a rocket chair on the porch, and then
Standard.
Yeah.
Standard.
Like right out of the movies, man.
Yeah, it's painted on. He was painted on the porch.
And then like a pickup truck pulled up, and like no big deal. But then like another one and another one, and within like 20 minutes, there were like 10 pickup trucks and way too many dudes to just be meandering around a Cracker Barrel in Mississippi. And we start to notice it. So I was like, starting to feel uncomfortable. And the old man says, "Hey boy, y'all a long way from your front porch." And we looked at each other, man, and we got on our motorcycles. I don't think we stopped until we got halfway through Texas. Like that was like that's no bullshit. Have you ever had an experience?
That's such a great sentence, though.
No, it's not.
Wait, say that again.
Maybe if you're saying it.
Wait, what is it?
He said, "Andy, can you say it in your American Texan Asbury Park crackhead accent?"
Hey, boy, y'all a long way from your front porch.
Yeah, man.
Oh shit, that was him.
Like a New
oh man,
Orleans.
I can see what you mean. I'm actually a little intimidating.
I didn't realize they were a long way from their Porsche. That's what it kind of sounded like. I feel like being called boy.
It's a scary when people just like I had I used to work for Verizon, and I had a job in Newark one time where I had to go to this apartment complex, and I was walking in to fix this guy's phone, and I don't know where I am. I'm like, using the GPS to get there, and I'm walking up to this guy's door, and he just comes out, this enormous man, like he was like twice the size of me, and he looked at me, and he was like, "What are you here for?" And I'm like, "I'm here to fix a phone." And he's like, "No, you're not." And I was like, "Okay." I just turned around and I went back and I left and I went home.
I'm trying to remember. I'm sure I had an
I
experience
hope his
like that.
phone
but
got fixed because I did not do it.
I don't recall.
Maybe somebody.
God bless.
So, I guess Andy Barr. Do you want to explain?
Yeah, we should probably
to the audience what
who you are,
who you are.
What's happening right now?
We're all here.
We're on,
dude. Like,
right, but we're all here because Andy Barr is here, who's a big fan of our podcast, Calling the Shots podcast, Mike and Ming, and obviously the Shared Universe. So that's why you're here, and that's why we're here, because you flew over from London to be here.
Insane.
Which is awesome. Not just for this, for multiple reasons, for the Super Duper Bowl that we were at. On Sunday.
That was the prime reason why I came over. So obviously I listened to you all, and I've been waiting for you guys to do your live show, and that's what ain't happening.
You missed it.
I wasn't even listening when you put it on.
Or we go to London at some point and do it.
Well, the thing was with the Super Duper Bowl, we knew you guys were going to be involved, and when we announced it, you had like shown some interest in it, and we were like, "Oh man, that's crazy that he's excited about this thing that he's never going to come to because he lives in England." And then he's like, "Got my tickets," and we're like, "Oh shit, we have to make this thing. Like, we have to actually make this good now because
you were going to half-ass.
There's a lot of pressure. We were just going to
no pressure.
But now we're like, "Oh man, this has to be good," and I feel like it was. I feel like it was fun.
It was a great time.
No, Steve was like, "I'm going to phone this in." But
fucking Andy's coming. Man, now I have to actually.
Did he get it on
now I actually have
Priceline?
to make this picture
on.
of Taylor now.
Shout out to my boy Kevin Jolly real quick. He said, "Eat shit. I say home perfectly." Okay.
I mean, it's 2 times. I've been counting how many times Derek makes it about himself, but that's already.
No. I was talking.
How long have we been in?
Me or Kevin? I was talking about my buddy Kevin. But yeah, it was a great time. I actually thought was really funny was the crab.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah, the racist
he was
amazing.
JC Hendricks.
JC was good.
Yeah, it was funny. His because he had a party hat on. That's Shoddy, our mascot, Shoddy, the party crab, and he had a party hat on, and his silhouette looked like a KKK guy,
clearly,
and like a Grand Wizard of the KKK. That's
that was my standout moment. Little segment when you went, hang on.
Yeah, I think it was you that was like, wait.
Everybody look at his silhouette. Looks like the Grand Wizard of the KKK or Senator Palpatine. Right?
And I listened to my wife had taken a video of it, and like there was just like this short moment where I'm like. We were saying that he looked like that, and he goes, "All right, well, things can't always be perfect. I don't know." He was just so upset. It was great. It was like he played it great. It was really good. That's JC Hendricks, by the way, who was the crab.
He did a great job,
funny.
and now we just have to find something else for him to do.
Yeah.
No, I just want him to find
forever.
That's it.
He's the crab.
He needs nothing more.
And all night I don't know if any of you noticed, but he was taking pictures with a lot of people, and every picture he looks miserable, and he just stayed in character the entire night.
Well, he's a crabby crab.
It was great. It was so great.
Tree surgeon Chris Bishop rose to fame after pruning an 18-foot tree in his property into a giant penis. Worcestershire resident Chris spent 3 years growing out the cypress tree before he was able to trim it down to look like a huge gentleman's sausage. The green-fingered 43-year-old told caterers, I'm not sure who caterers are, but I guess it's who wrote the article, "No one's commented when I've been out in the garden. People have just looked at it and walked past. I think it's because they're trying to work out whether it's just their dirty minds." Despite protests from angry neighbours, Chris said he plans on growing the foliage out even more so he can add a pair of testicles to the sculpture.
Can I just say,
yeah,
if he wants to grow that thing, I feel it's unfair. People should not bash the bishop over this.
No, exactly. If he wants to do that, yeah, it's his garden.
Yep.
He paid for it, so he should be allowed to do whatever he wants in it.
No bishop bashing.
No, exactly.
But I want you to imagine, if you will, you're walking along the street, minding your own business.
Okay.
And what should you find but the fact that somebody has decided to take it upon themselves to we'll use the nicest term, to drop a load in the street, and has decided that they wish to decorate this with hundreds and thousands. Oh, but it gets better. Because they don't just do it once. Oh, no. They do it numerous times. Over and over again. And each time they get that little bit more imaginative. So the first time I put in sprinkles on, it was not enough. Oh, no. They then decide to make it look like a kebab. They then decide to add other things to do to make it look nice and interesting. And this keeps happening repeatedly.
Oh my god, that is so sick, but it is also really funny.
Yeah. Welcome to the world of my work.
Oh, this actually happened in your world?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, that's even funnier.
This was someone referred to as the phantom shitter.
Right. The phantom plopper.
Yeah. And what seemed to happen is that we got the impression, again, no names, that the person was freezing their remnants, shall we say, and then putting them out in various public areas.
Oh, some people are weird, aren't they?
There are some very strange things, but what it ties into is also the fact that I think it's something that's been recently in the press of people being caught on various bits of CCTV just going to the toilet in the street.
Yeah, behind a bush,
I thought, yeah, I've seen examples of this.
Yeah. I was going to say, actually, related to this, that down our street, the street that I live on, there was a guy who was living in his car because he was working, he was working on a job site sort of thing, but in the area, I guess. And obviously didn't find out the full details. So this guy was sleeping in his car, but every morning he would actually take a shit on our road.
Just what you want to see first thing in the morning.
Yeah, and it was just...
I mean, dog crap's bad enough, but...
Yeah, but he'd always do it just over the drain as well. So it's obviously put a bit of tissue down as well, but it was never down the drain. It was on top of it, and it was every morning, I'd come out, you're kind of sleepy when you're walking out. And I just think to myself, oh my God, if
you didn't stand it, did you?
I didn't, I'm pleased to say, but I am the type of person that would, because I'm so, I'm so oblivious to things that,
I think I win with the phantom shitter.
Where's my peacock gone?
Right. Well, is that what you call it? Is it a peacock?
Yeah. It's very flashy. Yeah. It's very bright. You need sunglasses to look.
No, I was meaning size. Is that the reason why there's that's another reason you're single?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it all feathery?
Yes. And it's got more than one eye. Percy, the angry peacock.
Tell us about Percy.
Yes.
So apparently, as reported on the 9th of April, this year.
Okay.
God, it was a long day. This was posted at 3:15 in the afternoon. That must have been a really slow news day. Anyway, an angry peacock has been running into people's back gardens after it escaped from a local farm. One woman said she nearly slipped when the massive bird charged at her and flew over her head as she tried to catch it. What a fucking twat.
Is that what the article says?
No, this is me inserting editor notes.
Okay.
I mean, anyone's seen a peacock in real life, you don't try and catch that fucker.
No.
With your bare hands.
No.
Anyway, the runaway bird, called Percy, was later spotted in a nearby back garden where he's believed to have been captured. Tony Coe said, "He is very fast and very clever. He charged at me and flew over me, which caused me to nearly slip. It could have been on You've Been Framed." I bet he laughed when he said that.
Yeah. I bet he cried when he realised he could have had 250 quid.
Yeah, and had that shown on TV all around the world for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, Tony called the local vet's practice to ask for advice, but claimed the woman who answered just laughed when she heard the story. She added, "She advised me to go to the phone and phone up the RSPCA. She didn't know what to say apart from contact 101. That's our mildly urgent telephone number for international listeners.
Yeah.
999 if you're in the UK will get you through to the emergency services. Safety first.
Yep.
Anyway, so Tony said she logged the incident with the police, but she was told that officers could not do anything until Percy started obstructing the road. Oh geez, Gemma. You don't come out of this well.
Okay.
Other residents of Estove on the outskirts of Plymouth reported hearing a peacock's unusual cries
Plymouth's
last
miles
night.
away from me. I'm not in Devon. I'm Dorset.
It's got a muff in it.
Yeah, keep going. Don't let it get away with that.
Yeah. So I've got a muff and a muff.
Yeah. You're near Dartmouth. That sounds like Plymouth.
I'm not near Dartmouth either. I'm near Bournemouth.
Did I tell you I failed geography at school?
Yeah, I'm near Bournemouth.
Yeah, that's got a muff in it as well.
Yeah.
See? Your neck of the woods, it's a muff.
We did actually, as a just funny side note, very quickly, we did used to say, "I'm from the muff."
From the muff. Yeah. Well, we're all from the muff.
Aren't we?
Yeah. So Percy was last photographed this morning in a back garden through streets from where he outsmarted Tony. Oh, Jesus, how smart is Tony if he's got outsmarted by a peacock? Kate Reynolds said her mother looked out of the window at 8 a.m. this morning and saw Percy standing on her garden shed. Kate said she couldn't believe it. Percy's understood to have escaped from nearby Poole Farm. A Facebook post at 8:30 a.m. that said, despite staff and volunteers searching for Percy, he was still evading capture. Why was anyone looked in fucking Kate's garden?
Yeah. It's a peacock. How difficult can it be to find it? It's loud. It's bright.
Yeah, we haven't been able to locate him, but think that he's gone to roost somewhere in the hedge along Blunt's Lane. Yeah. No wonder he's gone there. Yeah. We'll be out again in the morning to find him. However, Kate said volunteers had arrived at her mum's house and had managed to catch him. Jesus.
The headline reads, "Woman puts octopus on face, ends up in hospital."
Well, okay, what did they think was going to happen?
A Washington woman's photo with an octopus not only went viral, also led to a serious infection after the creature bit her chin.
I can believe that, yeah.
Yeah. Jamie, who was participating in a salmon fishing derby in Tacoma Narrows on Saturday, when she realised she probably wasn't going to win that event.
Go on.
Yeah. However, she saw another opportunity for glory when she spied an octopus one of her friends had caught.
Right, yeah.
All right, you ready? This is her now. "I grabbed it and took it off the hook and said, 'Take a picture for the photo contest,'" she told Huffington Post. Oh, this is from Huffington Post, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
She put the coelopod? Does that?
Coelopod, yeah.
Yes. Oh, I'm getting the word right. Woohoo!
It's a coelopod.
On her face and said, that's what she said, and said the testicles covered her ears and...
No, tentacles, not testicles. I mean, for all I know, it could have Ralph Garman-style balls on it, the octopus. but I'm pretty sure they don't. I think we do in fact mean, tentacles. But
Yeah,
could have massive balls, so,
So yeah, as James quite clearly corrected me there, it is tentacles, not testicles.
Unless it's the Ralph Garman of octopus.
Right, okay. So anyway, the tentacles actually covered her ears and her nose. It was perfect for a fun photo, except when the octopus bit her on her chin. Right, this is her again. My friends noticed my chin had changed, she said. I don't know if that's the accent for Washington, but...
Did she not notice her chin had changed?
Oh, maybe not. We couldn't get the beak to dislodge. It was like a prong. Although they keep putting her surname, so I'm just putting she instead of her surname because it is quite a complicated surname. So she is she. Okay. Although she eventually freed herself from the octopus, she bled profusely for 30 minutes after.
Ow.
Yeah. There's still a pus pocket. And there's a spot under my chin, she said. Oh, sorry, she said. Right. She waited 2 days until the fishing derby was over to seek medical attention. That may not have been the best move, as the left side of her face was paralysed and there was a lot of swelling. They took me instead, but the IVs didn't work. And my arm swelled up like an elephant, she said. Now she is on antibiotics and a quest of sorts.
Oh, a quest, right, yes, sorry.
Yeah, a quest of...
I thought it said a quest of salts. I was thinking, is that some sort of medical thing?
No, sorts. I want people not to do what I did, she said. My advice is... This is actually quite a good accent for this. My advice is, know what you're touching beforehand.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I haven't quite finished yet. She did get revenge of sorts. She boiled and grilled the creature and served it on a salad.
Okay, yeah.
Her photo has since received worldwide attention, but she won't find out if it won the $100 prize contest until later this week. I'm interested to hear what her actual medical bills were.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I think it'd be more than $100 to...
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Of course, if she doesn't win after all she's been through, that would add insult to injury. The end.
I think she should have the insult to injury, because if she's daft enough to stick an octopus to her face, I mean...
With testicles.
Yeah. So when she's teabagging the octopus, from the testicle point of view, from what you were saying, Gemma. No, but being serious, like, for the sheer daft stupidity of it, I mean, the fact that the tentacles themselves, the suckers on them can be pretty... I think they've got little teeth things on them, haven't they?
Yep.
So that's going to hurt you anyway, but of course a pissed off octopus is going to want to take some sort of revenge on you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's a bit like that story that we had with the girl who was taking her...
graduation picture with the crocodile thing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Anything could have happened to that, so... these people... So, I've got 5 different stories in front of me.
Okay.
I'll read the titles, and then, because of my atrocious reading after the last episode, I'm going to ask James or Andy, whoever wishes to do so, to read the article, because I don't want to put the listeners through my reading again.
Okay.
So... The first story is, drunk woman left with £300 bill after accidentally ordering Uber to Newcastle. Yeah. Piranhas found in Yorkshire Lake where ducks have vanished and children play. James, I think you need to cover that one.
I'll take that one.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, next one. Woman who consummated marriage to a zombie doll says people think it looks like a dead child.
What the?
And then finally, Cleaners found a house filled with 400 bags of human poo and 250 bottles of pee.
I've dealt with worse in my old job.
Okay.
Did you not want to discuss about the man who paid a flatmate 170 quid to cut his penis off in a drunken bid to go viral?
I want you to read that one.
I do. I definitely want to hear that one. I want to hear the piranhas found in the Yorkshire Lake. Also, the woman who consummated her marriage with a bloody zombie doll. I mean, that's got to be pretty fucked up, but yes. But Andy, yes, if you've got one about somebody who has lobbed off their willy, then you carry on.
Well, it's from the same page that you sent me, so, don't be judging.
I wasn't judging.
Yeah, he's not into that shit.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's too painful for me. So, this is from the Metro, from Joe Roberts, published on 13th of April.
Oh, okay, I've got it now. Yep.
Yeah. So just giving credit and letting know the people the sources and how fresh this is.
And the picture is of a man with his hands held over the groin area, just so that they know that. It's important.
It's important. These things are important, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he'll be feeling very impotent.
Yeah. So a British man allegedly paid his flatmate €200 or £170 at the time of publishing to cut his penis off and promised him more if the footage of the amputation went viral.
Oh my God.
The 33-year-old English teacher was seen bleeding heavily in the northern Spanish city of Zaragoza last month. I'm sorry to all of Spain if I've just mispronounced that. I apologise profusely.
He's done worse.
Yeah, I've done worse to other regions. Yeah. Sparking a bizarre police investigation. His mutilated penis was discovered in a bag at his home after officers reportedly followed a trail of his blood to the flat. According to local reports, an operation to reattach the man's penis has been successful. His flatmate was detained by the police, but the expat reportedly did not want to press charges and waived his right to compensation before flying back to Britain, hopefully with a certain tail between his legs.
Well done.
It emerged this... I'll just wait for the applause to finish.
Carry on.
Basque, Andrew, Basque.
Yeah. Basque. Oh, that's a good region.
Wait, I was going to say, but that's a bit of a Spanish problem. Yeah, we don't discuss that at all. We are not discussing that.
Yeah. And where do you stand on the Basque separatist?
Yeah. No, carry on with the story.
It emerged this week that he offered the Spaniard money to carry out the stunt. The unnamed Brit planned to film the amputation and share it online and would pay his flatmate more money if it proved an online hit. It's believed he promised him between €2,500, that's £2,165 sterling. Everyone else, you can work that out. And 5,000 or 4,325 sterling, depending on the number of hits. The footage is said to have been erased, although it was not made clear if it was done before or after it went online. The pair reportedly drank 4 bottles of wine and took a Valium to muster up the courage before going through with the amputation.
Oh my God.
Police initially said the expat had harmed himself and were not looking for anyone else in connection with the incident.
Guys, guess what we're doing for our 100th episode?
But the case took a dramatic twist with the arrest of his flatmate on March 14th after a local paper claimed he used a social networking app to search for someone to film his amputating his penis. The 29-year-old Spaniard is being held in custody on suspicion of serious assault. He's expected to be formally charged following an ongoing probe. Oh, that's the wrong thing you want to be doing. Despite his alleged victim refusing to press charges. So, what do we think of that, guys?
Well,
where's your line on going viral? I think for him, that he's discovered his line, and that is taking his own penis off. That's a line for him. But where's your line? What line would you not cross to whore yourself out for public appreciation?
I think there's probably another thing on top of that is it won't be just about hits. There'll be some sort of strange sexual kink to this, won't there? I'm convinced of it.
Ooh.
I mean, there's not much sexual kink. I mean, no. there's a bit of a kink now.
Yeah. Do you want a proper dildo?
You do get people who get turned on by this sort of madness. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Where's the line that I would cross?
Wouldn't cross. Where is your line painted?
Pretty close to me, to be honest. I definitely wouldn't take a body part off.
I think chopping my bits off is probably, I don't care how many hits I'm going to get.
people go, if you give me X money, I will tattoo your brand on my forehead.
Well, no.
Andy, you won't even tattoo our brand on your leg.
Exactly. You can fuck off with that needle, lass.
I probably would tattoo something. But it depends what, obviously.
I'd have to have control on who could see it and when.
Yeah.
So I have the ability to cover
So
it up.
yeah, if I was able, if somebody turned around to me and said, tattoo X, not X, but that item on you, and I was like,
other letters of the alphabet are available.
yeah, but it was in an area that I definitely could cover up, I'd probably do it. Yeah. But it depended what the, it depended? That's not a word, is it? It depends.
Dependent.
Yeah, it depends what the item would be. So like if it was like I can't say it, swastika?
Swastika or Justin Bieber.
Or,
Well, yeah.
I don't know, actually. Out of the two of those, I don't know what's worse, I have to say.
What about the old school Captain Birdseye wink? So you get that.
You know what, Andy, I'll do it. Where do you want it? On my leg?
I think it's got to be somewhere where it would be a genuine surprise for someone to see that. See Captain Birdseye winking at you.
In the pubic area.
Yeah. Through the bushes.
Sorry. I think we've lost Gemma. I also think Andy's hyperventilating. Is this where you two die? I'm left on my own going, so,
but that was just too funny. And breathe. Andy, I don't think you've ever made yourself laugh so hard.
Breathe, Andrew, breathe.
So anyway, James, why didn't you find that as funny?
I think James he's gone white in horror.
I'm amused. I'm just internalising the humour.
Okay, well we need to turn your laugh on. There it is.
I think James needs to pick his jaw off the floor first. Was Tony Hart painting away in your head yet?
Something like that, yeah.
If anyone doesn't know Tony Hart, Google it.
Oh God, I don't know. I feel like that is the place where we need to end the show.
Oh yeah, nothing will top that.
So from Captain Birdseye, we're signing off.
Yeah.
These other stories go wait until another episode.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit!
Right. Well.
Okay, so anyway, I've been Andy.
Yeah, I think we've been talking enough Codswallop. You've forgotten how we end the show.
We certainly have.
I think that we've been talking enough Codswallop this evening. Or tonight, whatever the fuck it is. I am Gemma.
I'm James. Hopefully you're not all too traumatised by this one.
I love this episode.
I'm from the captain. Good night.
Okay.
I be seeing you, lad.
I'll just keep recording for a bit longer. Oh, Andy, it hurts.
Well, this is definitely not the one you played your aged relative.
Gemma, we've got to find a picture of the old Captain Birdseye as the image for this week's show.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
I think the episode.
Wow, laddie, you're in for a treat tonight.
Is everyone still recorded, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right then. Yeah. Oh yeah, this episode needs to be called Captain Birdseye or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh God. Captain Birdseye.
Who's in those?
Who's in the bushes?
Okay, right. Because I really need to loo now.